Jim Freeble on the Central Council with the Heritage Committee, and we're here to interview with Tom Poggi and Al Teglia, both past Grand Presidents who worked with Luigi Providenza. We're here to ask him questions to get insight about what the man was about. Let's start off with you, Tom. What was your relationship with Providenza, and what was it like working with you?
As far as I know, we weren't related at all.
Okay. Well, you weren't related, but you'd worked with him, so can you tell us about it?
You understand I'm going to keep this light.
That's fine with us.
I never referred to him as Sir Luigi. And Luigi was a good friend of mine. He and I were together a lot because he lived in Oakland and my law office was in Oakland. And he used to come down maybe once a week to visit me to talk about the ICF and so on. At the time, I was very active in the ICF. I was Grand President for 3 years. I was on the Executive Committee for 10 or more years. And Luigi would come in, talk to my secretary, find out when I was free, and then he would arrange to be present. And so I'd see Luigi walk in about 11:30 in the morning, and he'd already arranged to meet me. And then we would talk, and we would talk about the ICF, because that was his sole interest. And the ICF to him was promoting this organization, the Italian Catholic Federation, which he'd started. Father Mandini was involved. I met Father Mandini a few times, but Father Mandini, I think, was mainly involved in putting the organization together legally. Luigi did all the work. About somebody could turn off the phone, anyhow. So Luigi got the ICF started with branch number 1 in San Francisco, and then he kept working with the organization, and he was gone for a while, but eventually I first knew the organization through branch 40 in Oakland. And branch 40 was a very active branch. Felix Calvo was either the president or the motivating force behind branch 40. And I was very active because it had a junior branch, and I was a member of the junior branch. My mother and father were members of the branch. My mother was an officer of the branch. And so I think I may have been president of the junior branch. In any event, when you were 15, you became a member of the senior branch. So I became a member of the senior branch. I am now 86. So you subtract 15 from 86, you know how many years I've been in the ICF as a senior member. Branch number 40 was an inspiration. We had all kinds of activities. Luigi promoted that. We had parades, we had dinners, we had banquets, you name it, we did it. And Felix Calvo was the one who was the motivating force in branch number 40. Felix and his wife Lola would put on plays, do all kinds of wonderful things by their organizational ability. So that's how I got started in the ICF, and I've been a member ever since.
Thank you. How about yourself, Al? What did you? How was your relationship with Luigi?
Well, my relationship with Luigi was a very good one. I became acquainted with him as, well, I joined, like I said earlier, I joined in 1948 to play softball. I was just a high school teenager. After about a year or so, I quit, went to college, And then later on, Ira Gregori, who worked with my wife Vern at that time at Bruce Brothers in San Francisco, and she would, he'd get her involved. He was a little bit like Luigi in certain things. He'd get her involved in drawing the posters, because my wife was very artistic. And so, you know, they'd come over the house and we'd talk, and of course I went to school with Aria, so we were longtime friends. And then my wife was not Catholic. She converted and became a Catholic. And when she did, then it was just a matter of time. Aria got us into the branch. I had dropped out in the meantime, and I came back. And then you know, within a year or so, I became the branch president, and then became the district president. At that time, the district council encompassed San Francisco and all the way down to Santa Clara. It was all one district. In fact, we used to have our picnics at Mountain View, where Branch 47 is. And then I ran for Central Council in Sacramento. But in all this time, Luigi would come over to the house and he'd talk. And he got me involved. Once I got on the Central Council, Luigi got me involved into a lot of things. And I wanted to be involved. Now, understand one thing. I wanted to be involved. I wanted to move into the ranks of the Central Council. So with Luigi, I became Luigi's assistant chief deputy. There was no such title at that time, but he made it. Okay? And as a little aside, both of you ever met, well no, Sam Sunseri died way before you two.
Yeah,
okay, but did you ever meet Tony Sunseri's wife?
I can't recall that.
To get a feel of what Luigi could do and how he did it, Sam Sunseri was in Santa Clara, okay? Can you imagine Sam Sunseri being the district deputy of Santa Rosa and traveling that distance back and forth? I mean, this was Luigi. He could talk, and first thing you knew, you were doing what he wanted. Not because he had some power over you, but persuasion. And you wanted to do it, or you wouldn't do it. You wanted to do it because you became enamored with the Federation. Because the Federation is just well, I think it's a great way of life. And so from then I went on. I don't think I ever held any office. I jumped right into the first Grand Vice President in Stockton, and then I became the Grand President. And I had the fortune of serving under Rinaldo Carmazzi. Now there's an individual I thought that was very, very talented. Right? I think Rinaldo was probably one of the people that it's too bad that, because he was a great writer, I thought.
What do you feel that was Providenza's vision for the ICF? How do you enact that vision?
You want to repeat that, please?
What was Providenza's vision for the ICF?
What was his business?
His vision, his plan for the ICF.
Vision. Well, you'd have to ask him.
All right. Well, what do you feel he was?
Well, I mean, you know, all of a sudden I'm asked. Oh, okay, I'm kidding. Luigi wanted the ICF to be the most it could be. The ICF to him was a vehicle which he started to bring Italians closer to the church and to work with the church. And Luigi was very good at that. He knew how to influence people. He knew how to enthuse people. And he did that by forming the ICF with the help of Father Bandini, who probably did the legal work that was required. So, as far as I know, Luigi's vision was to see the ICF grow and to influence as many Italian Catholics as it could, California, Nevada, and Illinois.